Virtually every presidency is marked by its own foreign policy doctrine, an attempt to answer the question of how and when the U.S. should intervene overseas.
What we're really asking about is how much military force do you want to use to control what's going on in other countries? And on that part of the spectrum, I don't think that we're as good at intervention as we like to think we are.
I've got no barometer as to what interventions are good, what interventions are bad. We were all in Iraq. It didn't turn out so well. We were half in Libya. It didn't turn out so well. We didn't go in Syria. It didn't turn out so well. There will be times, in my view, when America has to intervene in places around the world with all the aspects of American power.
Distribution of power in the world says military is no longer your most effective way of coping with the issues we have to deal with. It has proven itself incapable of nation building. We tried it in Iraq, failed. We tried it in Afghanistan, failed. When we recognize that that is the case, we're going to have to do something to enhance our statecraft.
Political movements themselves gravitate toward different uses of military force.
Neoconservatives have the most robust sense of the value of American hard power. Neoconservatives do not hesitate to act unilaterally. Neoconservatives are unwilling to be bound by other international institutions, whether the UN or anybody else. Neoconservatives would argue that the aggressive use of military power is needed to promote democracy and safeguard human rights.
There are a lot of similarities between liberal interventionism and neoconservatism. I think one of the key differences, however, is the faith or the belief in international institutions as a, shall we say, a force multiplier for American military power. They would prefer that that power be exercised with some sort of international legitimacy or imprimatur, whether it's the United Nations or a multilateral organization like NATO or something like that.
The realist inclination is one that is inclined to use force only as a last resort, and further inclined to use force only when genuinely vital interests are at stake. And of course, that immediately raises the question, well, what do you mean by vital interests?